watching Ayit TV, empowering you.
11th Jan 2022. It is again that time. We come to you with another episode of the Startup Talk. Like I told you, every Tuesday 5 p.m. Ayit TV got you covered. And how we host different people to tell us about businesses, and it gets they are doing a few of them, they have a chance to share about them, but also for people who are viewing like you to get a chance to learn from them and acquire that very skill. You never know, you could start your own. At the end of the day, we are talking about the startups, and this is the Startup Talk. I'm Sankara Berhanga, your show host. We do this every week, and we are sponsored by Empower Youth in Technology. This is a tech hub here in Mbarara, and particularly the program. I'm Sankara Berhanga, your show host. We do this every week, and we are sponsored by Empower Youth in Technology. This is a tech hub here in Mbarara, and particularly the program or the project where we run this is called the Startup Garage. And the Startup Garage is here to help startups in different ways. One of them is promote their startups, link them to affordable financing options. That is where we bring in Ayit Startups Financing Initiative, and finally we also help them in building their capacities. But I already said a lot. Now this week we have another interesting guest that we bring on the show, and trust me, it's not by coincidence that perhaps schools are reopening, and all learning institutions, perhaps we could comfortably say, are going to be operating to 100% capacity, but also we are sure now there's no one left at home. And having said that, the university is another opportunity for someone to learn, and to some bigger percentage of Ugandans, that could be, by the way, the last. If you met an average Ugandan, one would say once one makes it to the university, then majorly, usually, someone thinks that's the end of academic life. But it is another opportunity for you to sit at the university for almost 3 years. That is to those doing bachelor's degrees, and we have courses like law and medicine that go to 4 years. And all that time you're in one place, rotating around one place with a collection of very many people. But could there be some businesses that you can do in this university era? Now that is what we're looking at today, and we're going to do this. And when we come back, I will comfortably introduce to you to my guest today, who I believe is interesting and you need not to miss. This is the Startup Talk. The times are back. The mighty university is back to polls. Who is the next guild president of MUST? MUST Guild decides 2022. Don't miss the exclusive coverage of this yet another historical election. Only on
AIT TV, empowering you.
Okay, then that tells you that AIT TV is going to be covering the 2022 MUST Guild elections. You do not have to miss. But having said that, today I'm very well, we used to call it clad, yeah? Today I'm very well put in an attire of Mbarara University of Science and Technology. This is the student, is it called Students Guild gown? Yeah, Students Guild gown. And trust me, this is a product of a person I'm here to introduce to you, Mr. Seruwo Adrian. He is our guest today. Yes, that gentleman, that very one. Mr. Adrian Seruwo, you could say hi to the viewer and we get going.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Sankara.
Yes.
Hello to our viewers. Thank you for keeping tuned and keeping watching ATV. I'm just telling you, you're doing the right thing.
Wow. And me with Seruwo, we are coming to you live from the University Inn, another cool place that you need to join. In case you're watching this, then you need to know that the background you're watching and the cool place you're enjoying, we are coming to you live from the University Inn, located at what I know is after Mbarara University of Science and Technology, opposite Acacia Hotel. That is where you're going to be finding these cool gardens and you could be chillaxing around. So it's not by coincidence that we are at the University Inn and we're talking about how someone could actually earn from the university. Mr. Adrian Seruwo, well, I know you because you contested for guild presidency some time ago and hotly contested. You belong to the NUP. That is for the other side of the story. But what brings us here is quite interesting. But before that, someone who is watching you for the very, very first time, what I know is that apparently you own Adrian Gadgets.
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah, so we are about to we are getting to know what Adrian Gadgets is all about. But also, I've seen you advertising on different platforms as though someone who could provide lab coats, student gowns and all that. But apart from that little that we know, what more could we be needing to know about Adrian Seruwo?
Well, Adrian Seruwo is a student from Mbarara, doing a bachelor's degree in science with education.
Yes.
And I'm currently a finalist. I'm yet to leave the campus. Thank you, Mr. Sankara, for that good introduction. Yes, the CEO Adrian Gadgets, where we do ship gadgets from Dubai and UK and we make them available to Ugandans at an affordable price. We've done this for right now a year. Yes, we've been in this field for a year now. We've worked with several clients and they can testify on the good and quality products we deliver to them. Most of them are MUST students, and in other words, thank you for giving us this platform again to re-emphasize that we are still in the business and we're doing a good job of availing students with the good gadgets they need for their researches and all they need.
Yes. Very, very pretty there. Now this is a Seruwo. While I'm Biaruhanga, this is a Seruwo, and that's the power of the university. The university has potential to unite different regions and that's what makes it a very, very good marketing place. But before that, we need to confirm actually if you're a Seruwo. Osolo tambulango Muganda. Yes.
You know, Okutambula Muganda is something that gives me a time all the time. And every time I meet that question, I normally dodge it.
Okay.
It gives me a time, yeah.
Wow. So, we've missed. But anyway, I need to cut out this clip and send it to the Katikilo. Perhaps you need to join the Chisaka for some good time. So that's on a lighter note, and that's how we begin our show today. I already told these people what we're about to talk about. Basically is to give them ideas that students can do at the university. They earn while they are studying and using their fellow students to be their actually clients. But before that, because you tell us you're a finalist?
Yes,
and that would mean you spent at least more than 3 years, or because of COVID. Because of COVID, more than 3 years at campus. Could you describe for us, ordinarily, the life of a student? How does a student spend their time at the university?
Actually, ideally, I want to first give you a picture of a student who's not in business, how he overtakes his life.
Yes.
This is ideally what it happens. You wake up in the morning, you check on WhatsApp groups if there is a lecture. If there is a lecture, you run to a lecture. There's no lecture, people know what they do best, watching movies. Ideally, that's what an ordinary student at campus normally go into. They normally go from lectures, they go, so it's just around for that one who's not in business. But for those that normally deal in business, for us, we normally we use every opportunity to capture an opportunity as well.
We're going to get to you who utilizes that time. So you're saying the ordinarily this other normal kind of student, we are using the word normal very, very carefully. It's morning, I'm going to check on my WhatsApp to see what's
Katambula. Either there is a lecture or not. If there is a lecture, someone will have to go for a lecture, because you kindly don't have to miss the 80% of must. So
I attend my lectures, and if you look at I don't know, of course we may not have the facts here, but what could be the percentage a student spends in class or academic work generally? If we look at a day, let's look at a day. Yes. Actually,
according to the Constitution, every student is entitled to attend at least 80%.
80%.
Yes, but now there is a difference
in terms of time.
In terms of time that you In terms of time.
Okay. Let's. I know we won't be really accurate, but let's break it. For a day that has 24 hours. How many hours, for example, does a student spend on academic, work?
Actually, this is different.
Estimates,
depending on a school.
Yeah,
because you see that medicine students have their own time, and upper faculty students doing business and faculty interdisciplinary studies, they have their own time, because you realize they might have only three 2-hour lectures in a day.
If you meet Roger, there's a popular guy called Roger on the Must Be Want group. He will have a different view. We'll have a different view, upper faculty versus the medicine, but that's not for today. So do you think averagely one would spend like 10 hours on academic work? Is it possible, or that is too much?
Ideally,
in a day?
Yeah, ideally it's possible for education students. But for non-education students, ideally that's much.
Okay. So if we are to go indeed the average kind of calculation, we are looking at 5 to 6 hours.
Yes, 5 to 6
for every student.
For every student, yes.
That is out of 24 hours. That leaves the rest of the time yours generally. Yeah, you're having rent, Papa is paying for food and every other thing, and that time is left to you. So let's now switch to an Adrian Seruwo, who is doing both. For example, how do you spend your time?
Actually, what I first did is to convert my WhatsApp viewers into my own clients, because ideally very many people have very many viewers on their WhatsApp, just to use them just for fun. I have very many viewers on my WhatsApp. For me, what I did is actually to convert the same people, because ideally in the world everyone can be your customer, depending on how smart are you going to bring in what they can buy, because ideally everyone has something he needs or he wants. So depending on your creativity, you can make someone a client. So me, what I did, I realized that the environment of students, these are students that need gadgets. If not for showbiz, for their classwork. And if they need gadgets, there was a need of me coming out with a smart way of initiating these students in my own thing. So what I first did as a tryout, I tried posting 2-3 laptops a day. 2-3 laptops a day. I realized my inbox could be full of how much. I was like, this might be a deal now. Yes, ideal. That's how I saw the whole picture. They were like, how much? So I felt like someone said asking what you don't have. Could be having a phone.
Yes.
Could you be having a USB? Could you be having an adapter? So from that, what students asked me, I felt like there is an urgency, there is a need, there is a problem I need to solve. All I need to create in order to solve it. So I created an urgency of laptops around and things students need basically for their life to move on at campus.
And shared around, and that's how it started.
That's how it started, and you keep the business going.
Let's go now to the buying side. How is it going?
Now students buy because most of these are necessities.
It's a mandatory.
Yes,
I mean, you
it's a
must
mandatory.
have. Yeah.
Yes, it's a must-have, like a gown. As Makere has red, Chambog has blue, first we have green. So each student should have that symbolism of a spirit of a student.
Spirit.
Yes.
I'm told this was made green because it has to be must ame.
Yes, that's true.
Amajega must, and so that whenever you're saying way, it's kind of rhythmic to the ame, and you get going. But that's on a lighter note again. So, how do you market to these students?
We normally use social media. I normally tap in the arm of influencers because Master already has its own influencers, like every community.
Yes.
So I tap in that market and I avail them with the business. That you're going to post this.
Let's give them a mention. These influencers, a few of them that you know.
Yes, actually, we have the lady called Shanita in the faculty of medicine. She's a good influencer.
Let's roll.
Yes, we move to faculty of education. We have a gentleman called Lauben. Lauben does influencing even for politics, by the way. These influencers cut across. In business they are there, in politics they know how to do the good noise for a candidate.
Okay, Lauben, now we now know.
So when you move to Chumro,
yes,
there is a guy called Collins Olo.
Collins Olo. Okay, I knew a different Collins. So Collins is the big guy there in terms of mobilization.
Yes, mobilization. So when you tap in the market of these people, you realize that every student will trust whatever you will be selling because they have seen these people, they have gained confidence and the sort.
Wow, and we won't be able to move further than that. But maybe, before we connect to switch to something else is, so you're trying to mean that actually this can make you some money?
Yes, ideally I can't give them a roll of an opportunity without paying them. Some of them even have receipts, my dear. You have to sign somewhere, they give you a receipt. I'll be like, this advert is running.
No, I meant for you. This is actually a worthy business. You're actually earning big from it.
It's actually a business that does a lot of profits.
Okay. That is what we majorly wanted from this gentleman. Now we're going to have a very, very short break, but when we return, there's a lot that we still have to do because the gentleman is about to list for us a few ideas he thinks you as a student, and you actually, by the way, not only talking about to students, but at least if you know a colleague that is a student at the university, what you could utilize and actually earn money while you're studying. Remember, this episode is called Books and Business. But on a lighter note again, Mbarara University of Science and Technology, particularly this very month, we are going to be going for elections, guild elections. We are going to be voting our new guild guild councillors. We're going to be voting our new guild president. And AIT TV can never miss an opportunity to move this journey with you. Remember, we are empowering you, and our target or primary audience are university students, but also those early graduates. So we cannot miss this chance. And having that said, AIT TV is going to give you 360 degrees coverage of this whole campaign, of this whole electoral period for Mbarara University of Science and Technology. And as I say that, this is what I mean.
The times are back. The mighty university is back to polls. Who is the next guild president of MUST? MUST Guild decides 2022. Don't miss the exclusive coverage of this yet another historical election. Only on
AIT TV, empowering you.
and that is a YIT TV empowering you. Now we come back to the show. It is the Startup Talk. We are hosting Adrian Seruwo, who is a university student at Mbarara University of Science and Technology. But what is unique about this gentleman is that he is running businesses alongside books, and we are saying, could there be other ideas that one could venture in while they study at the university? And this is the time we've been waiting for. Is the moment of the show. Adrian, you're so welcome from that little sort of a break. Let's roll now quickly to a few ideas you think one could actually do at the university while they study. I don't know if you think there is a number of them, because we understand the university is a collection, like we said, majorly, usually 80% of them are young people in one place. Like you said, they have really their time, and for example, I don't know the enrollment, we are around how many?
Enrollment is like 1,700.
I want to believe we are honestly quite a number. We are honestly way above that, around 3,000 to 2,000. When you move to Bishop Stewart University, for example, there are around 5,000 plus students. All that, you'll never move into a market or a supermarket or selling, selling place. I'm looking for a word, I can't get it, but you never move into a collection of buyers that have a number close to that, and then you're not going to sell. So this is thousands of students in one place, quite a huge market. Could there be a few ideas that one could actually do at the university?
Thank you very much, Mr. Host.
Yes.
Actually, there are a lot of businesses a student can do while at campus, while actually excelling still in the academics. So I would love to just group these businesses into two.
Okay.
We have those that normally come season wise, and we have those that run for a good time,
like all through.
Like, for example, I'll start with the business of mobile money. Ideally, we have only one person.
So here we are under the category of
those that run all through.
Okay, all through, yes.
Those that I'll start with those, because actually they are those ones students really need at this particular moment.
Yes.
Because seasonal business normally end. So now, ideally, mobile money. When you look at mobile money, you have only one student doing it, and is doing it in halls.
That is at must.
Yes, at must. In actually, it is flat room too. Yes, there is only one student doing it. But ideally, students jump into that room and you'll find many of them in a line. Actually, if there could be another student coming in doing the same, it could actually reduce on the load, and again, it could be giving service back to students.
Okay, mobile money, number one.
Yes, actually, we can also go deep into what we call research assistants.
Oh yeah, because you are students, at the end of the day, before you graduate, you need to work on your research.
So there are those experts in research already, and still are fellow continuing students, and can provide that service to those that need it.
Okay.
Of course, at a cost.
Yeah, obviously. It's a business.
And of course, it works out.
Uh-huh.
And when you move to the third one, it is stationary photocopying. There is no way a student can escape. Can escape photocopying. You cannot escape photocopying unless you have to photocopy one or two things before the semester ends. And of course, people who do that, they do a fundamental good role, and because they give service back to students and they get money for their own selves to use, even to pay tuition, because ideally very many students photocopy at the end of it all. So stationary could work well for a student.
Okay, that is to say printing, is it called printing a press unit? Like that.
They normally do photocopying and printing and...
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And again, you can do a small delivery, fast food delivery, where you deliver. I've not seen it in Mbarara, but I think I've seen it in other universities. Delivery, someone is just there for delivery. What you do is just to text via maybe a message or call that maybe I want chips, maybe I want this and that from town, deliver it to me.
Yeah.
And ideally what they do is only delivery. I've not seen it around, but if a student can tap into that, it could do a fundamental role, because very many students acquire laziness with time. acquire laziness, or is it because money has come or something? But students acquire that laziness, so you can use that laziness of students not wanting to go to town, not wanting to move out of their rooms, and you doing delivery for them.
So they prefer comfort.
Of course.
Yes. Okay, let's roll. Quite good ideas.
Yes, ideally, and another thing is social media. Social media, ideally, social media is a very important, is a very important tool in the university. Social media can do quite a lot. So if a student can brand himself, in other words, everyone does social media, but many of them do it for fun. But if you come out and brand yourself that I do this, I do social media influencing, of course you have to reflect your numbers. If your numbers can actually proceed that, it's well and good. It is another way students actually get money at campus. Another thing is web designing. A student known as Jeremiah Habizana, he does more web designing, and actually this gentleman pays for he's doing medicine and surgery, and is paying for himself tuition.
From web designing?
Web designing, just.
A doctor?
A doctor is doing that.
Wow. My IT guys, hello, how are you?
And I was told he gives assistance as well to IT people. He does a fundamental job at Mbarara University. So through that, the gentleman has paid his tuition and now is helping a brother do the same.
That's really interesting. If you look at a website of a 4-star company, I mean, it's not anywhere below 800.
Yeah, and actually you can also check out the one of Corpus Christi. He did it himself.
Wow. Okay.
So
let's run.
So still, student can do bakery because we have Oreos. Oreos, the sellers are there. Sellers are there, but what to sell may not be around. So a student can actually tap into doing that.
Yes.
Doing bakery where you can do some daddies sometimes.
Cakes and all
cakes
that.
and that, and you.
Because that's another big one. Especially the gullish kind of snacks could move at the university. And then you have your room. You're paying. Papa is paying. I mean, electricity there. All you need is that machine. I don't know. It's called oven. Kind of that. Quite a number of them. In case you just joined us, Seruwo Adrian is breaking for us down a few ideas one could do at campus, and you earn while you're studying. Quite a number of them. A few I could remember: mobile money, printing unit. You could do web designing. You could use social media to market other products, and then people are going to buy from you. Am I leaving? Bakery is the latest one. Quite a number of them. Yes, let's roll.
Still, there is actually the one which I've been doing, and I'm still doing it. Loan giving to students. You can
quick
give
loans,
quick loans, quick loans for a week or even for a month, depending on the security someone has availed to you.
Change.
Yes, and actually,
what kind of security, by the way, are you getting from a student?
It depends on the money they want.
Okay.
So if you want money worth $1 million, you have to bring something, a security of 1 point something there.
Oh, so I carry my laptop plus my woofers and my mattress and say, please, sir. And then you give me some money.
Yes,
then you make a few profits. Yeah. Okay. That's quite interesting.
So here and there, and still, of course, as I told you, there are many business. There is another business, and this business is for restaurants. Someone can start up a small restaurant, and I've seen very many students starting up small ones in Tasso, and they are working out for them. They're having fellow students, and they are giving out food at the student best price. And of course, the student wants to support a student. Ideally, it works out. So very many students have started up restaurants. No matter how small it is, students will come.
Yes,
support
they have to eat.
Friends hustle.
They have to eat. We are coming to the friends hustle and how you could trigger them to that. Could there be a few more? Unfortunately, you've not mentioned your own the lab, because I don't think you need competitors. That's why you're leaving it out. But yes, we are still in the continuous. Huh? Okay, I get.
So
if we could move to the season ones.
Now the season ones, we have those that normally come at the start of the semester. Right now, as we are initiating in new students in the university, there are a lot of services these students need, and all these services needed by these students are normally payable. one can do hostel inspection by yourself as a student, and you avail hostels of whom you've negotiated with their landlords or even custodians the prices, and you have them posted and availed for easy access to students. You can actually avail them to the dean's office as well. So it is a two-way, and you'll end up that very many students are stranded right now because of hostels. So if one can come up, do your inspection.
Yes.
After you list out your hostel.
Have your list of unoccupied hostels, and so as these guys are reporting, you already know where to
where to check them, and
okay.
of course which one will be affordable to who. And with that, you'll have done a service. Of course, people, and you can normally do a consultance of only 10k, but people know how they play it already.
Yes.
If there is any doing it, they know they play it, but they normally do consultancy for 10k. I did it last time. It worked out so much for me, and I ended up helping the same people that I had in the election.
Okay, yeah, so let's roll more on seasonal ideas someone could run at the university.
You look at printery again, comes in seasonal again, because all the documents students submit for their registration have to be photocopied in at least a copy.
We are looking at documents like examination cards,
bank slips, like the payment slips, the O and A level slips, the photocopying of the admission letter and stuff, and of a sort.
Okay.
You need a copy in them. So if you bring your photocopy around, it could work out. Could be giving a service to these students.
Very, very pretty idea there. Let's roll.
And again, still in this week for orienting freshers, you can be a tour guide. So you can come up, you can design a website that can make it easier for students to access new places with ease. I've not seen it around, but I saw it in Mbarara when I went for a workshop. But if there could be someone who can come up with this sort of website where students can go and know this is JFX, this is SEPAS, this is this. At least they could be know this is within campus. I should move like few meters, 2 kilometers to a place. It could be a good business to students.
Yes. Because
right now many of them are moving looking for such places. If you can avail and you get conversions, because every time the more time someone dwells on your platform, there is the way Google refunds you back. So I think that one could work for if anyone could start it up at this particular moment. It's not there within, but it's very good.
Wow, quite a number of very many other ideas that could be on your way, quite a number of them, especially when you study how a student spends their time. You realize there could be ways you need to earn from them. He says there are people of gadgets, that's why I thought of them. There are people of smartphones. You think about all that comes with a smartphone. We're talking about data, we're talking about, yes, you talked about mobile money, you talked about accessories of the phone and all those, and their lifestyle. Could you link them to the hottest place they could join in and have swimming here and there? All their lifestyle, you study it and you're going to be finding a number of ideas. Quite interesting. Seruwo there. Must herself, from what you share, possesses a good number of opportunities for those who may want to put their money in their times. Of course, we are, for example, talking about times like COVID-19 times. I believe also things like masks and the sanitizers also could come in play. Quite a number of them, quite a number of ideas.
Graphics.
Yes.
Now it's a political season. People need a graphics manager already there.
Wow, that's another season one. So yeah, people are in politics, and you should be able to get that done. Wow. Let's look at the marketing within students. How do you convert students into clients? What are the passwords? For this other public, I'm going to run an advert for me, and it's going to work for me. But at the university, how do you market there?
Ideally, actually, what can be done, one is first using your social media because ideally I cannot inquire what I've not seen you doing. First of all, I realized before I started posting the gadgets themselves, no one could ask me anything about gadgets, because ideally they couldn't see the relevance of asking you, because nothing shows that you're doing something of a sort. But ideally, when I started posting, people now started asking me how much, now which one is original. So from that, I'm changing my friends ideally, because the one you have your contacts are your friends now. I'm changing them to customers, and from there they are the ones to recommend. This when I got Adrian, the phone Adrian delivered to me, I still have it, because sometimes I'm glad that someone can say, I trust Adrian. If you link up with Adrian, you'll have your thing sorted. And if there is any other way of you getting the genuine thing, he will tell you the price and how he can deliver it himself to your comfort of your room.
So getting them convinced that you can actually deliver is another big concern, and you say you've based that on trust and you've delivered according to what you promise. Could there be other basics one needs to grasp first before they think they can become students who are in business? Could there be other traits one needs to add to themselves?
Yes, of course, the personality. Personality. Business, of course, requires you to have that, how do we call it, that language, business language. So if you are that personality that is so conservative, it will give you hard time to socialize, because business is actually it's
for
a
introverts,
transaction. It's not for introverts. You need to be someone who unless you're selling something which is a must, for example food, well, you can be an introvert there, it's okay. But now these other things where you need to explain to someone,
You need to get that skill.
you need to have that language, that personality that is social. You need to be accessible and available. The moment your phone is off, someone can't trust you. Even if your phone is off for a particular business, it actually portrays you not being responsible.
Okay.
So someone needs to groom the personality himself.
Very, very, very interesting. Unfortunately, time cannot allow us to move or talk for the whole of this evening. But quite interesting there. And there's this other side. When we are listing revenue streams, there's a kind of different other ways one would list. Yes, it could be from direct sales, though someone could still earn from their profession. My IT colleagues who have developed the skills of developing websites and softwares and all the other skills. My colleagues in pharmacy who that requires an offer.
Even license.
Okay, even license. But quite a number of them. We have colleagues who are in agriculture. We have colleagues who are in business. We have colleagues who are in procurement and these other kind of courses. One could build quite a number of revenue streams around there, even when you're actually a student. Then there is also the opportunity that the students have. There are opportunities, for example, like grant opportunities that come targeting students. I do not know if you've interfaced that in any of your line, though it's another opportunity. Organized students have another big space out there in the grant world. Calls like the NACE, the Youth Ideathon, calls like High Innovator, universities like the University of Science and Technology, in this case we have Mbarara. We should be seeing actually students preparing themselves for that, because at the end of the day these calls are calling for innovative business ideas. You get innovative business ideas, and that calls for now the knowledge that students pick from the university. A student who does computer engineering, software engineering, even within the almost all courses, because like you said, at the end of the day a student does research, and from the little knowledge I gathered at MUST, general research, we're not doing research for fun or for marks and graduation. We're looking at a challenge, you study it, propose a solution, and go ahead and build this solution for it. And these grants are looking for those three things. The problem, the solution you think you can do, and actually how you think you can do, and then you request for them, you request from them resources to build that solution. And at the end of the day, you never know. You're student, you're studying, but you're also earning. That is another way, and that is how we could wrap up this. Quite a number of them came from him, and that is how I could end this. But before we end, you could have a word or two to your fellow students and those that are actually starting, then later your category, those that are leaving, that are about to hit the world. Papa will finally say, now Baganda, they also need to study. So now
That's very true.
Yes, so let's first advise these colleagues of ours that are joining the university, and then you could wrap it up with those that are leaving the university.
Actually, before I even wrap it up, I would love to encourage very many people to use the opportunity of YouTubing. Doesn't require much, but YouTubing is very important. If someone can use it as some other way of relaxing or leisure, but at a point it turns to being monetized.
Yes,
and you
trust me.
Yes, and you start getting something from the YouTube itself.
Apparently, the leading earner from TikTok is called who? Kameo? The guy that, I don't know. You don't know that?
Actually, I know some few TikTok people. Like the Mickey seems too funny and such.
Okay, so there's a gentleman called Kame who has been a university student, and immediately after graduation went for a job. They turned him down, but he went to TikTok and would record few life hacks. I don't know, few life hacks. I don't know how to call that, but he would bring an image, for example, of Seruwo with that haircut, and then bring a Sankara with this haircut. And then he says, nothing said, but he would just do this. And only that, just doing that only, got him very, very many viewership. Of course, with comparisons, you know, it comes with funny whatevers, because he's going to get a Seruwo like that, and then brings someone who is bald with bald hair. And then there is whatever comic way they're going to do that. And the guy is a billionaire. We're talking about global billionaire. So what Seruwo ends with is very, very important. You have the gadget, you are the university, you have the smartphone. Why not become that guy? Yes, continue.
Yeah, actually, I would love to urge everyone to ship with us, to buy from Adrian Gadgets, because we've done this for a year, and more interestingly, we've been working with university students, so we know what we are doing. We already have agents within your hostels. So if someone reaches out to you and is of Adrian Gadgets and he wants your money in cash, we don't normally deal that way. What the role of that person is only to deliver to your door what you've actually bought from us, and they come with a receipt and a seal from Adrian Gadgets. So I know very many people right now normally call themselves Adrian Gadgets, and they are under us ideally when we've not seen them. So we shall put up a list of the people we work around with in campus. So just be alert on your social media. We shall use more of your influencers to actually show you these people.
Okay.
And again, for these new students that are coming through to campus, I would urge all of you to keep financial discipline. Just don't be like me on the first day at campus.
What happened?
I ate the whole money.
This guy is full of kuiliba, so that should have been the cause.
So I ate the whole money. So I would urge all of you to have financial discipline. Year ones, please have financial discipline. Even just differentiate I want and the need earlier on time, because you'll end up filling the whole room having nothing to eat with a TV. So you have a TV but nothing to eat, and you're going to friends to burden them. They have the same worry about their money as you. So I would urge you to have financial discipline. Financial discipline is key at campus. And for people of my sort, of course, we have a lot to advise one another, because we are yet to move out in the world. Is it of stress and opportunities?
Everything
is there.
Everything is
so there. Actually, for us, we should actually use every opportunity. Every opportunity you get, doesn't matter how much you get, as long as you have it, you'll get the rest come. Because people normally weigh who they are. Ideally, that personal fable. You have that unreal crowd around you. people normally have that person thinks he is what people don't see. Ideally, you need to do anything that comes your way, as long as it brings in something, and use it for a start. Well, you shall be there, I know.
Okay, that's Adrian for you, and this is how we are going to be ending today's episode. And what majorly you could get from him is, while at the university, yes, you're there for academic, thank you very much, go for those academics, study the way it is supposed to be. But he says even if you did it 100%, you still got yourself some good time, free time for you to enjoy. And instead of enjoying, he says, think about business. And for you who is getting out of the university, he tells you world out there is waiting for you, and you need to actually do something. We've been coming to you live from the University Inn. I told you we are located opposite Acacia Hotel, and you should be able to see some beautiful gardens over there. You need to do there a lot, quite a number of good services. We're talking about events. In case you have an event, then the University Inn is your other place to be. We've been supported by Empower Youth in Technology, which is a YIT, and that is a tech hub here in Mbarara, the mother of a YIT TV. We're implementing a project called the Startup Garage, and in that we're giving opportunity to startups for them to be promoted, but also gain we build their capacity, but also link them to affordable financing options. Now, in case you want to advertise in this show, it is very, very open. You need to just hit the number below, and we should be able to get to you, and you will have an opportunity to sit in this chair, but also make for you a beautiful advert, and make sure we advertise for you. This is how we're going to wrap up this episode till next Tuesday. This is the Startup Talk.